going on, everybody? Welcome back to Two Generations Deep with Elkin and Elkin. This is episode 3. Thank you for tuning back in with us. We're ready to chop it up. You know, we got a special guest in the building.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. We're here live and in Central. We have Ivan Reyes from Best Smile Cosmetic Dentistry. And he's here with us. Not only is Ivan a special guest, he's also a longtime friend.
Very, very long time.
3+ years in this relationship. So
30+.
This is why we wanted to bring him on as a first guest, because we got longevity, lots of friendship. We both started at the same time. So we want to share our experiences with our audience out there. So we're going to go ahead and break it off with cheers for episode 3. Best Smile, Ivan Reyes. Let's go.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
You know how we do, guys. You got to calm the nerves with a little bit of liquid courage to get us going.
That's right.
That's
right.
Deal.
Okay. Perfect. So let me break it off, Ivan. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and who you are and what you do.
Okay. So I am in the dental industry.
Okay.
Been for the last 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
I am the general manager for a practice called Best Smile Cosmetic Dentistry. We have 2 locations in Broward County, one in Pembroke Pines, one in Miramar. And what we do is we service everything from the most basic dentistry to the most complex dentistry. We have 9 different doctors with multiple specialties.
Okay.
And we service the community. Like I said, we take care of all their dental needs and wants.
Nice. Cosmetic dentistry is a big thing now.
Definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some transformations,
Mm-hmm.
actually myself included.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to get braces at 47, 48 years old to be able to give me more confidence and so on. So the cosmetic side of things, you guys are reconstructing, recreating, what are you doing to patients to give them back that?
Well, then we specialize in catering to unique needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every patient has a different need. So they come in for a consultation. We gauge what they want, and then we see the different options. A lot of times there might be one option. Sometimes there might be multiple options,
Mm-hmm.
but it could be sometimes orthodontic treatment, like braces might be the simple way, or Invisalign.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other instances where a smile makeover, veneers, full mouth reconstruction. And in some cases, if the teeth are not salvageable or it doesn't make sense at that point, then we may do something like full mouth all on X, all on 4, which is basically like they call it teeth in a day, where you provide somebody life-changing smile makeover in a day by removing their teeth and placing implants, and they leave with a brand new smile in one day.
In one day?
Yeah, one day.
Wow. So think about that. Technology. Think about that. You walk in one way
Mm-hmm.
in the morning and you leave another by the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, that's an alternative.
Mm-hmm.
It is, depends on the unique needs of the individual.
Awesome. So you are connected to us because you also are like 2 generations, right? It's,
Mm-hmm.
I said you're the general manager. You wear a lot of different hats, but who's the doctor?
The founder is Dr. Laura Gonzalez.
Okay.
Who happens to be family.
Right.
So it's definitely, we started when it was just her, I, and a part-time assistant, I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
So it was, 25 years back, it was a different game.
Right.
I definitely didn't know that I was going to end up in dentistry, fall in love with the industry. It's great to be able to help people.
Right.
It's great to see the changes, health-wise, confidence-wise. There's just so many different aspects of what, the dental side of things, what we do, what it does for an individual.
That's awesome.
So 25 years later, I could tell you, I love what I do. It's really, really, it's grown into something beyond anything I could have ever imagined. We're able to help a lot of individuals. We have patients that fly in from other countries, to be, taking care of their needs.
Right.
It's very specialized.
Mm-hmm. So what keeps you going, right? What is that one thing that keeps you going?
Well, as fate would have it, my wife is actually a dentist. She's a foreign trained dentist who is going to be getting her license here. I have 3 small children.
Okay.
which, God's gift. Obviously, I have 2 little girls and a little boy, and you never know. They may end up being dentists too. So I don't really know how long this may go on and on and on. But what motivates me is just knowing that I get to wake up every day, help people, and, you know, you- obviously you make a living at it, but it's really rewarding, to do that.
Nice.
And how do you've been doing it for so long, how do you balance the work life with the personal life? How do having 3 kids is obviously, a big task in itself. How do you balance that?
And that's a great
No, it's advice for me, because I have one on the way. So
advice for Elkin. If anybody saw my social media post this weekend,
Mhm.
the 3 little kids in the picture that I was out, that I was pre-gaming.
yeah.
Those are the kids we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm Uncle Elkin, okay? So go ahead.
Well, listen, if anybody tells you that it's easy, it's BS, man. It's not. It's a work in progress. It's a learning experience. Like I said, I've been in the business for 25 years, at least this business, the dentistry side. But my family's young. My oldest is 5 years old. So it has been some adjusting, balancing, obviously, between their needs and just the day-to-day business stuff that there's always going to be, and being there for them and not missing any opportunity. It's super important. It's super important to, that you focus on being there for them for what the time that they need. So I'm going to tell you, me personally, I'm still perfecting the balance. I know that obviously I don't want to miss any important moments. I can tell you that much. I've been there. I went to every single pediatrician appointment. I was there at every one of their births. I go every weekend to their swimming classes. I try to go to as many things as I'm able to. I make time for that because those are times that are irreplaceable. Just
Love that. Yeah.
See, that's how I feel about it. I said in the first episode that it may not be my generation, but also your generation, but we're finding ways to take more time to spend with our family. It's not saying that we're not here to work, right? But it's to balance both of them. And hearing you say that, it's being there as much as you can. Not saying you're going to be there for everything, but to be there for as many events or swimming lessons, whether it be, doctor's appointment, to be there for them is definitely a big thing. And
I love it.
and this is your generation, right? And he's speaking like that, and that's awesome. That's awesome for sure. Because it's time we won't get back.
Well, I also think he's a late bloomer.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've had time to mature and really experience life, and I've seen, the goods, the bad, and listen,
And the
nothing.
ugly.
Yeah, that too. And nothing could beat you being there for your child. I'm not perfect, but I just know that being there, it's going to make a difference for them.
Beautiful. So speaking of being there, let's rewind time. You were around before Elkin was born.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were around when I proposed to Leslie at the trailer.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Honey Hill, trailer,
Been there
Carol City, baby.
From day one.
So knowing that you've been around that long, Ivan, right?
Mhm.
What does friendship look like to you?
That's a good question.
Look.
We went to breakfast this weekend with my 3 children. And in retrospect, seeing the picture you put up, that's priceless. 30 plus years, me being there for the birth of your kids, me being there for pretty much most important dates, I think, and vice versa. That to me, how many people do you have? Like, you're the brother that I don't have any biological brothers, but you're the brother that I chose to have. And, I have a couple of friends kind of with my hands that I've known for 30 plus years. And that's family.
Mm-hmm.
That's family. We may not speak every day, but I know that I can count on you. And to me, that's friendship. I know that, we know, you know how I think I know how you think.
Right.
And we've been there for all the important moments. And that's just the kind of relationship that you want your kids to have. You want to show them that, because at the end of the day, you know, in the times when everybody's going to need somebody, you'll need somebody to talk to. You need somebody to open up to. And what better way than, you know, to have a relationship like that?
Right. And there's times we don't agree, but that's the beauty. Um, long lasting friendship, and that's why I said he had to be the first guest, because we just go back. Ivan, so the world could understand what you've witnessed over the years. How did we start? Where are we at now? And we're not done, right? So you've seen us build our portfolio, right? Our real estate portfolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been around that long. You see us fall in 2008, 2009, and then we did it again, right? Why do you choose us to represent you and your dealings?
Okay. I see a lot of people that talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I mean by that? There's millions of realtors, probably people that and I mean people that have a real estate license, but minimal experience, life experience. As long as I've known you, real estate is your passion. You were born into it. And you see it from a different perspective. So when I had to choose a realtor, it only made sense to me to go with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I want you guys, to look out for me. The way you see things is differently. You'll see it from an investor's perspective, and that's what I want to become, right? That's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. I want to grow my portfolio. I want to be able to diversify. But I want to do that at the side of somebody who has been there and is experienced,
Mm-hmm.
not just somebody that took a test and got a license.
Right. So being that you said something that was key. You said he was born in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the world needs to understand that when they look at Elkin and they think, oh, he's young and he doesn't really have the experience, you're hearing it from somebody who, Elkin said in episode 1, we used to drive around. He used to be in the back. We used to get out. He wouldn't understand like what was happening at 14, 13, 15 years old. But, he's been doing this for a long time. And then now here he is. He's the main character in this book,
Mm-hmm.
that we're writing. So, I appreciate that. And I thank you for that, because if anybody can say that I value is you, because we did it. Do you remember when we used to wash our cars?
Yes. I washed mine one time. Not my thing.
No. He's never been a hands-on type of guy. Never been.
Let the professionals do it.
He always used to say, Elkin, I don't have time for that. Let's pay to get that done. And myself and another couple other friends used to sit there and wax the car, the rims, everything,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, at least, sometimes when I wash a car, I get kind of lost and just relax, have a drink.
It's therapeutic,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But now, as of late, I found this nice little spot. I haven't washed my car since. I've been going there. They do such a great job for such a great deal. I don't even worry about it anymore. Honestly, it's great.
Ivan, for Elkin, right? Can you define the difference of being a parent or a friend to your kids?
It's a thin line.
Which one is it? Because some people, I've had conversations with people, and they're like, "Oh, I want to be my kid's friend," but is that really the best idea to be your kid's friend?
Probably not. I would say you have to be a parent, and they have to know that you're going to tell them good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna guide them and set them straight when needed.
Right.
Being a friend comes, but definitely there needs to be, a figure where it's clearly defined, you're the parent and you're going to guide them, but you're also going to be the one that was going to reprimand them or tell them when something's not right. Friends, a lot of times, they may not always do that. So it's definitely a thin line, and I think it needs to be clear, clearly defined.
Right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of how I look at it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Friend comes at a certain point in life.
Yeah, I am totally on board. I think that whole be a friend is something that one therapist said and the internet ran with it, and here you go. But you're a parent, you're not their friend. You know what I mean? You got to guide them, and you got to give them that, that foundation where you got to be
But in my eyes, being a parent isn't being a mother or father. Because to me, a mother or father, my opinion, is, I gave you a roof to live under.
Mm-hmm.
You have food in your mouth. I'm good. A parent is someone that goes the extra mile to really engage with their kids and say, hey, what are you into? Oh, you're into this? Okay, let's do it. The kid's into sneakers. The parent wants to join the sneakers with them. It's going that extra mile to really dive down to a deeper level with their kids, rather than just, I don't want to call it bare minimum, but just saying, hey, I gave you food, I put clothes in your back, and I gave you a place to live. My job is done.
wow, that was I like that. That's.
Well, I must tell you something. My children being, young as they are, me personally, one of the role models or say relationships that I look up to is the one that I've seen my buddy over here have with his children. To be honest with you, it's a relationship based on respect, trust, and that is something I admire. I want my kids to grow up respecting me and trusting me and looking up to me. And that's I think what any parent desires, ultimately. You gotta earn that thing.
Absolutely.
And that's, in my opinion, I think, obviously you guys, I think you achieved it. So I think just follow the same steps. You'll be good.
Yeah, it's easier said than done.
Big shoes to fill.
for sure. It's like a lot of people could say, "Oh, wow,
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate
no,
it.
it was super great.
Yeah.
We have a great relationship. Now being 28, he is one of my best friends for sure. Any advice I may need with anything, he's the first person I call. But that came with years of as a kid, you don't, what do your parents know? What do your parents know? But you get to a stage in life where you become mature and it's like, hold on, my parents only want what's best for me in life, right? So slowing down and, they said this person wasn't good for you. Why? It's like, oh, you were right. So it's just like your parents only want what's best for you majority of the time, right? And that's why I say parents. I don't say your father or mother. Your parents, majority of the time, wants what's best for you. And we've come a long way. Have we bumped heads along the way? Have I done things that I shouldn't have done? And he's been there to say, I told you so? Absolutely. But that's who makes me who I am today. And I believe that is a big thing that if you're having a child or you're raising a child, that's the best thing to do is be their parent, be there to tell them, like you said, hey, this is the right way to do it. If you veer off, that's okay. But I'm going to be there to get you back in line and help you, become a good person in life, because that's what it's about, right? Becoming a good person.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Tell me if you agree. But I think for me personally,
man, I'm getting my microphone out of here. I love it.
I think personally, you got to lead by example. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are. And if you do that, your children will see that and appreciate that.
1,000%.
And best way to show them, that's the way to be. Now, if they don't see that, then it's difficult for you to, for them to develop that.
Yeah.
But if they see you being true to yourself and living life the way, you say one thing and you do that, then that there is the way to lead by example.
It starts in the house, right? Like you said, the last episode, it starts.
They're always watching.
Exactly.
That's it, man. You gotta be that, you know, kids grow up looking at their mother and father as their heroes,
For sure.
especially the father. No disrespect to any women, but that's just the way we're programmed. So I think the father has to lead, like exactly what you guys are saying. He has to lead, and he has to be that person, you know, to be able to guide them, you know, give them the strength, the support, give them enough to hang themselves a little bit, then bring it back, you know. So, yeah, that's amazing. You know, that I'm sitting back, I'm speechless today because you guys are fucking killing shit. You know, this is the way that it's supposed to be. And, I like it. I think that, we're missing men in today's society. You know,
Listen, there's one thing that I spend a lot of time thinking about, and that is
by the
two
way,
daughters.
yeah, by the way, this guy, I got about, 5 people that I consider to be pretty smart, pretty brilliant. And he's one of them because this guy reads all the time. You know, he's involved in so many different aspects of, knows a lot about everything. You know what I mean? So he's one of the sharpest guys that I know. You know what I mean? And I've always told him that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So go ahead. You got 2 daughters.
Well, I have 2 daughters, and to me, if you ask me, like, what do I lose sleep over? It's that. It's just, we live in a world that, you know, I want to give them all the tools, confidence. You know, I want them to love themselves. I want them to know their value and respect themselves, and obviously make sure that they let others know to respect them as well. You know, that's, I think, so important in today's age.
100%.
So I tell you, like, I think about that all the time. Like, oh, brother, you know, my babies are going to grow up, and, you know, and they're going to go out into the world, and, you know, you can't always shelter them and protect them. Right. So I think values that you instill at home, the family life that you provide them, what they see, their surroundings, you know, and obviously, like I said, living by example, that's what's going to set the foundation for the life they have.
100%.
So that, you know, with you having a new family, and that's something to really think about, you know. Like I said, walk the walk.
Yeah. And I want to point out something you said too. You said you want to give them the tools.
Oh, yeah.
The tools. You don't want to give them the finished product.
No.
You want to give them the tools so they could carve their own way.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
You know, I think I don't know if people catch on to that. Tools being, I'm going to provide you with the necessary skills or mindset, but you carve your way, and that end goal, whatever it may be, is your end goal. Not that you gave it to them. But I think that's great.
I fucking love it. Man, you guys are on fire. I'm gonna leave now, guys. I'm gonna leave because this is no. All jokes aside, for anybody out there that is needing advice, I mean, this is great advice on kids. You know, it's hard today. The internet has kind of well, is conditioning our kids because parents are not doing their jobs. Fathers and mothers are not doing their jobs, you know, so you got to be careful.
And ask for more advice, Ivan. How do you manage that? Like, whether it be, you know, the kids' screen time, and, you know, because now they're at that age where now they're really curious. They know how to work a phone. They have their iPads, you know. How do you manage that? Because that's something that me and my girlfriend talk about all the time, is how are we going to manage that? You know, like, just maybe some advice how you handle it.
It's a work in progress. It's a daily thing because obviously they are going to be curious. You cannot isolate them from technology and the world, social media in general. But I will tell you, a strong family foundation, you know, family. It takes a village. I'm very lucky. My wife is an amazing woman. You know, we're surrounded by strong, powerful women. And I think that is great because at the end of the day, Yes, we're hunters. I think men, we're hunters, or we were and should continue to be the hunters. But the household, the woman is the heart of it all.
For sure.
Preach, Ivan, preach.
In my opinion,
For another one.
I can tell you that's an important,
Right.
Before they do anything, they're going to look at your wife. They're going to look at how she carries herself. They're going to look at all that. And children need a foundation. And that starts at home. So if you have a strong family network, that is going to shelter them somewhat from what's out there.
I think that's great too. Because I think they don't really make women how they used to, right? This whole social media has people kind of messed up.
Right.
It's like, oh, you need to be this. There's nothing wrong with a woman making a house a home, right?
Mm.
So,
good grief. What the hell are you drinking over there?
I came in on fire today, dog. I'm ready to go. Because I had this conversation with my girl also. It's like, wow. To me, that's the most important part.
If you run out, we got more.
For sure, we got plenty.
Yeah.
Being home for our children or our child, to me, is the most important job, right? So, once again, setting the foundation, setting those memories, that how the family is supposed to be, whether it be sitting down for dinner, no phones at dinner. We're going to go do these things together as a family, take trips together as a family. That's stuff that really doesn't happen today. I know you do it for sure, but like as in a society as a whole.
You do it too much, man, okay?
Yeah, jeez. We'll get into that too. I think that's freaking awesome. But that I try to tell my girl, that's like the most important job. It's like we have to mold her to understand this is how life is supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to be treated. Like you said, your daughters are going to grow up and they need to know how to be treated. How a man is supposed to treat them, how a man is supposed to love them, respect them, appreciate them.
Ooh.
So it starts at home again. And I think women have the most important job. They start off carrying the baby. They create human life, right? From the inside out.
Well, you had something to do with that.
Well, yeah, I did, but they hold it for...
come on now.
No, for sure. They hold it for 9 months, though. They feel every kick.
Right. I'm not disrespecting nobody. Hey, Grit, chill.
they feel every hiccup, they feel everything. Yeah. And we're there where we're going to do everything after, but they have, to me, is like one of the most important jobs of creating life, but also making a house a home. And I think that's freaking...
Wow.
Awesome.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
you want a refill.
I don't know if what I'm drinking you're drinking or not, but it's
good.
It's deep. It's deep. No, I think we established family is key.
You asked me about what do I do, to bond. One of the things that I like to do with my family is I need to disconnect, me personally. So every so often, when possible.
Yeah, but time out. Before you say to disconnect, I think they need to understand what that means.
Oh, no. I'm going to tell you, disconnect from my day-to-day, from the business.
Tell them your day-to-day.
My day-to-day, obviously, it requires me to be present a lot of times and handle the business, just make sure things are running smoothly. And the business, meaning the dental offices.
And how demanding is that?
I'm very hands-on.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm working on, actually. And I to give you an idea, I have a lot of patients that have my direct cell phone, they have my private number, and they have access to me, pretty much at all times. So I do have patients that I communicate with that are overseas, with WhatsApp, and I have patients that if they have a question or a need, they'll send me a message. So I make myself available. That's one of the things that I think differentiate us in general from other practices. We provide a very personalized service. On the other hand, there are times where, I just, want to be with my family and dedicate it to that. And what I like to do, what I enjoy is experiences. So I don't think of it like vacation. To me, it's not a vacation. It's an experience. I want to live things with my kids.
Into
So I try to do that often.
Give us a taste of where you've been. Let's just talk about just this last year, where you've been this last year.
Okay, so this past year we went to Asia, for example.
Yeah.
So we visited multiple countries in Asia. And in the past, they're small, and some people would argue, children are so small. What's the point? Though I don't travel with them because how could you travel with 3 small children? Well, there are going to be small children at home, or there are going to be small children in Finland, so I rather enjoy them and live things with them that I think are unique experiences that they will remember some of it, and they're going to mark them. And, it's going to be things that are going to open their mind to the world that's out there. So to me, that's a great way of them realizing and educating them and showing them what's out there, opening their minds. I don't want them to just be told what to think like most, traditional education. I want them to see there's a whole world out there, and there's people that live differently than us. And there's no right or wrong. It's just, you just need to see and choose for yourself what you want to do.
He doesn't want to have them be part of the herd.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, basically, once they see all these things and they realize, there's so many different ways to live, then they could kind of make their own choices.
What has been one life-changing event for you?
The birth of my children. Hands down. My firstborn. I was 44 years old. And I could tell you that, it was a surprise. I was really surprised. And then I was surprised again 2 years later, and surprised again 2 years later. So
what
my wife is full of surprises.
Would you care to share why you were surprised? Because
I'm 44,
right,
and obviously I had always dreamt of having a family. I had always dreamt of being a parent, and it just, due to many circumstances, it hadn't happened. And I like to believe that it was a matter of me meeting the right person. Life has a way of leading you in the direction that it wants to lead you to. And then I met a woman who just changed my life overnight. She's my wife, obviously. And nothing about my life is what I thought it was going to be. It's just, she turned my world upside down in a good way.
So can we say that it's God's time, God's plan?
For sure.
It's the way.
For sure.
You understand it?
There's no other explanation.
Yeah, it's no other explanation.
As my mother would say, it's a miracle.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that's why I wanted to kind of make sure that you were okay sharing that, because it was God's timing. It's God's plan. So when we all feel that it's never going to happen for us.
No, I think what we could learn from all this is that we all have, a road that we're going to go on. And it's maybe different for different people. Some people have kids very young. Some people have kids later in life. Some people, their career, they're focused on their career. The truth of the matter is that you got to live the moment, enjoy it, make the most of it, give it your best, and just enjoy the ride. Because good things will happen if you stay, true to yourself, positive. Everything else, it just kind of falls into place, I think.
Beautiful. How do you see the future of dentistry?
Well, that's a big thing, because actually I study that a lot. I'm constantly searching for anything, there's technology is involved in a day-to-day in dentistry.
It's evolving.
There's advances daily.
Right.
So it is something, if you want to stay current, you must stay up to date. Obviously, digital is a big thing. So everything going digital, whether it be,
when you
3D printers, milling units, scanners. I mean, there's a lot of technology involved in dentistry.
But don't you have the technology to be able to print? If I'm using the wrong terms, don't you have the technology in your office that you can make someone's tooth?
Yeah,
Okay.
they can mill a crown. You know, they could mill it. So think of it like almost like a 3D printer, but it's a milling unit. Put a block of porcelain, and it will make a crown out of it. You could design different things, night guards, retainers, and there's devices that print that also. You know, so you could print just about anything with these new 3D printers that they have out there, and milling units. That's it. In my opinion, there's still a little bit of way to go. We choose to partner with premier labs, high-end labs that are provide a more manual approach. Like they will do the most of the work, like for veneers, it will be by hand.
Right.
So I will tell you that technology would only go so far, but it has not fully replaced a person.
Okay.
In my opinion, at least not with the quality of the handmade stuff.
So if someone was looking to, you know, how long you been? 2001 to 2003?
Yeah.
2003, right? So I started in 2001. I actually started in 1999.
I was born in 1997.
So 1999, I had a bad partnership. You were aware of that. Bad partnership. And then I started in 2001. You guys started in 2003. You have longevity. You have established yourself as a leader in your industry.
Well, you know, not to cut you off, but you know, this is like I feel like a surfer. You know, 2008, you know, you went 2005, 2008,
Right.
you know, then it was like what? Then the 2018.
Right.
I mean, how many of these ups and downs? We had COVID. You know, we've made it through some stuff. I think anybody who's been in business for all these years and still obviously around, you know, you're a seasoned veteran, you know, because there's definitely been some tough times, you know. You've had to adapt to the changes.
You've been, and that's the difference.
You've seen it. You've seen some stuff. It's adapting. I think you would agree. It's reinventing yourself on a daily basis, figuring out, you know, being at one step ahead of the game.
Right.
You know, that's what it comes down to.
Well, how true is that? Can you really be one step ahead of the game, or adapting into whatever gets thrown at us, you know?
Well, in my opinion, what I try to do personally is I'm always in the business development side. I'm thinking ahead, trying to
you're proactive.
Figure out the needs that patients may not even know they have. Is there something out there coming out better that we're just not aware that it's possible? Technology, procedures, materials, things that will allow us to shorten the time of things or make it more predictable or better quality. All of it, you know, if we stay on top of that stuff, then, you know, and obviously constantly, the professionals that I work with, surround myself with top tier professionals. I mean, these doctors are constantly, you know, getting new certifications and learning new techniques. The one thing I could tell you is it doesn't matter, you know, you could have gone to school for 12 years. You still don't know everything because there's constantly changes and improvements.
But you didn't get to this without sacrifice.
No.
Can I share a story? Can I share a story?
Of course.
Okay. When I first moved down here from Philadelphia, we don't come from a lot. So when I met Ivan, and Ivan took me back to his house. We were living in Silver Lakes. Remember that? And I walked in there and it was beautiful. And he says, come upstairs. I went upstairs. And, you know, just little things that stick with you forever, right? I remember walking into your room, and do you remember you used to have all your colognes out? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. This man had about 40 or 50 different colognes to be able to choose from. And I remember that like yesterday. And I'm like, wow. I looked at this beautiful home and I'm like, man, I got to have one of these one day, you know? Fast forward, your aunt wants to pursue her her dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
She gives all that up and moves into an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yep. She had to sell it and go back to being a student. And
So she gives all that up. Goes living in a little apartment in Pembroke Pines, and she does that for the next 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm. A rental apartment.
A rental, to be able to get to this place of becoming a dentist, to pursue her.
No, it's a sacrifice. It's a transition. It's a journey that they have to go through.
So I think it's important that, and the reason I bring that up is that you can't get to the sweet without the sour. And that is from Lewis.
Yep.
That is from Lewis from Complete Title.
Choice.
Okay, Complete Choice?
Complete Choice.
Complete Choice, right? He's always telling me you can't get to the sweet without the sour.
Very true.
Yeah. So being that she had to do that, and then again you came back and run the show and everything, what advice would you give to someone looking to start?
Similar path as you.
I'm going to add something to that. I had a home that I actually rented out, my house that I rented out, so that I could move in with her in order for us to be able to then focus on the business. So it was I don't want to call it a sacrifice, but it was decisions that were made.
No, it's okay to say that.
They were made at that time.
It's okay to say
thinking of, listen, it only makes sense, like I wasn't even a thought. Like, we got to do this to be in a position to be able to focus on that.
So
it's
sacrifice.
It's sacrifice.
It is.
You don't have to look at it in a negative way. It's I don't want to say giving up, but putting this on hold to get to this end goal.
Yeah.
And this just unlocks God knows what.
Or it's okay giving up. In her case, she gave up the beautiful home, right, to be able to get to where she's at now.
It's putting it to the side for now.
Which that home fits inside her home now. You know what I mean? So I think it's beautiful, and I think it's great, and I think it's amazing, and I think it goes deep with the people out there, that they understand that you got to sacrifice, and you got to be able to give that.
It's funny because you talk to some individuals and they have no idea the type of sacrifices that you have to do when you're an entrepreneur, when you want to go on your own, or in order to achieve certain things, just in general, I'm saying there's so many people that if it was easy, then everybody would do it.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's not to say that it's impossible or anything. It just means you just need to be able to do what you got to do.
You got to work for
and
it.
Stick to it.
Sorry, I'm on the phone. It got a little hot in here. I'm trying to Leslie put the
But at the end of the day, not everybody's willing to do what they got to do. So.
Yeah, and that's what separates men from the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I mean, as long as we've known each other, we've seen the road, and it wasn't a smooth one. You know what I mean? It's not like gold coated or anything like that. You got to go with the ride. Exactly. Just ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Right.
That'll be the quote of the.
Well, I think he's a surfer in because his past life. Yeah, his past life. First, he said he was surfing through different things. Now he said you got to ride the wave.
Yeah, I think when I put the post up, it's going to be the comments that ride the wave.
Ride the wave.
Yeah.
That's what the post is going to be for this.
Ivan, how would you like to be remembered?
And it's maybe to your kids or to your family in general, however you see it. Or you could break down each one. Yeah. You want to be remembered to your kids, how you want to be remembered to your family, to your friends.
I want my kids to say my dad was a great man. He was a good man. That's the way I live my life.
Mm-hmm.
I want to live my life in a way that I don't have any regrets. I did everything that I wanted to do. And I also didn't hurt anybody, lived righteously and set a good example for them. I want to be remembered as my dad was a good man.
What about for the rest of the world?
For the rest of the world, I don't know what to tell. I'm usually not too focused on what other people think, but at the end of the day, I could tell you that fearless.
Love it.
And what I mean by that is, if there's anything that I tell people around me, is usually like, and I do this a lot. Anytime I get a chance, I tell them like, just do it. What are you afraid of? I think too many people hold themselves back.
So fearless. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It was what do we always joke around? We started from the bottom, now you're here.
That's it.
Where else can you go?
Drake, baby.
That's it.
Yeah.
Drake.
My brother. All right, Elk, you got something for Ivan?
Yes.
What is it?
So we got.
All right.
This is not on the market yet, but this is in the works. We're getting stuff done, but being our first guest and being that you're so special to us, first one.
Thank you.
This is for you.
That's what's up.
Thanks.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
Okay. Beautiful. Well,
we're gonna sign it off
got
here.
that.
Yeah. That's
There you
it.
go, baby.
That's it. There you go, baby.
There you
That's
go.
it. 2 generations deep is what we're talking about. Ivan, thank you for coming. We appreciate
Thanks for
it,
the
man.
invite.
Yeah, you're a great success story. You're a great friend. We appreciate it.
Father.
Yeah, you're a great father.
Thank you.
You're a great father. And you're a great human, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the fucking matters, all the other stuff doesn't matter. But thank you. We appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for being on here with us. We're going to sign it off now.
For sure. I want to give a quick shout out for Ivan for coming on. Ivan, let us know where you could find Best Smile, where your location's at for Best Smile.
www.bestsmile.us, and it's Pembroke Pines location as well as Miramar location. So South Broward, 954.
Let's go, baby. 954.
305-786, whatever it is. You know where to come
we
for
service
dentist,
all
baby.
area codes.
Exactly. You know where to go.
Elkin,
Again, thank you for tuning in for episode 3. It's been a very special one. Thank you for tuning in. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at 2 Generations Deep. I'm Elkin.
I'm Elkin. Thank you for joining us. God bless. Peace.
Peace.